Welcome to the Concacaf U17 Women's Championship. Puerto Rico versus Canada in the third place match. The winner punches their ticket to the World Cup in India later this year. The loser does not make the World Cup. A lot on the line here today on Mother's Day. Hope you're enjoying if you're celebrating out there all around the world. 86 degrees in the Dominican Republic, and there's not a high percentage of rain, which means the humidity is a lot better than it has been. We're in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. As you take a look at the slate for today, of course, it's this game, third place match, lot on the line, and then the championship is on the line later tonight. That will be at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and it's Mexico and the United States, who already know they're going to the World Cup, but who's going to win the CONCACAF final? And of course, those two teams have battled a ton in the past. Well, Puerto Rico and Canada, just two kind of tough performances to start in the semifinal. Puerto Rico ran into Mexico, a team that has not conceded a goal, lost that one 5-0. And Canada was handed their first loss of this entire tournament when they lost 3-0 to the United States, who, by the way, has also not conceded a goal. So that might change for those two teams in the final, but just tough to run into teams streaking the way that Canada and Mexico are. So there's still a chance to move on to the World Cup in India later this year, and we'll see who wins out. Again, Puerto Rico and Canada. From Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, we'll have processions, national anthems, and starting lineups coming up soon.
Damas y caballeros, den la bienvenida a los equipos nacionales de Puerto Rico y Canadá para el partido de esta tarde del Campeonato Femenino Sub-17 de Concacaf.
Damas y caballeros, le pedimos ponerse de pie para el himno nacional de Puerto Rico. Damas y caballeros, le pedimos mantenerse de pie para el himno nacional de Canadá.
National anthems for both sides as we get prepared for the third place match between Canada and Puerto Rico. One more time, I'm sure I'll say it a bunch actually, but the winner moves on to the World Cup in India. Puerto Rico's starting lineup, and Ariana Anderson is back in net. She has been a stable force back there for Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, I think it's important to note that Indigo Sims is back in the starting 11. You see her there at number 11. Sims did not play at all in that semifinal match a couple of days ago. Of course, for Puerto Rico, it was a tough pill to swallow, going head-to-head again with a Mexican team that has just been completely dominant, and Mexico ended up winning that game 5-0. See the officials today. Garcia out of Mexico will lead the way along with 3 others. I think the officials have done a really great job in this tournament of keeping everything clean. It's just been a really fun tournament, and sad to see it wrap up today. All right, for Canada, here's a starting 11. Lallier again back in net. She had 11 saves against the United States. They put so much pressure on Canada. And then mixing things up a little bit, they'll insert Nia Rose into the starting lineup as well. And you don't see Maloof in there for Canada. Now, I assume she'll come in about the 45 mark. Maloof is the leading scorer on this Canadian team. She's got 10 goals in this tournament, but she didn't do much against the United States because obviously they were keying in on her, and so we'll see if that changes today against Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico in blue, Canada in red. Again, Lallier back in net for Canada and Anderson for Puerto Rico. Captains today, Maya Burnt on the defensive end for Puerto Rico, a center back, and then on the other side for Canada, also another center back in Zoe Marcassini, who honestly saved a pair of goals on the goal line. Lallier had, come up to make one stop, and the rebound came through against the United States on the goal line, almost went in. Marcassini was in front of 2 of those. So an incredible defensive performance. Again, Canada lost that one 3-0, but it could have been more lopsided than it ultimately was. All right, first kick again in the Dominican Republic as we get set. There's Watson, Renee Watson in the starting lineup for Canada, often comes in as a reserve. Castillo will throw it in. Sergio Castro, head coach for Puerto Rico. We're playing their best football until running into Mexico, and I think what we've learned is that everyone, besides maybe the United States, and we'll find out later today, is going to have problems with Mexico. Emma Humphreys on the other side for Canada, another team that just ran into the wrong opponent in the United States. It's very clear those are the top two teams, but again, it doesn't mean that these two nations right here can't make the World Cup. Watson fighting for position. Goal kick for Anderson. Yeah, but Puerto Rico lost to the United States 13-0. And it seemed like they were going to have some problems in the group stage, but they turned it around. And then once they barely snuck into the round of 16 after coming in third in their group, they went on a tear. They've won, before that Mexico game, had won 3 in a row. Just seemed like something changed after that loss to the United States, and the quality of football has really gone up for Puerto Rico. I said this earlier, but I would say if I was to pick somebody, I think this is the most improved team in this tournament. We got a foul called on the far side. Allen is down. Committing that foul is Eva Anderson. Let's see. Yeah, steps on her foot, clips her ankle in the process, and it's back with Canada. Free kick coming. Monk opts for the light pass, back and forth. Back with Monk for Canada, off her left foot, streaking towards net. Ella Adi comes up, full back for Canada, and she's the last to touch. Thought Adi did a really fantastic job for Canada against the United States. She had a tough go of it with players like Giselle Thompson for the United States coming up on her side. And while Thompson played very well, she didn't get many shots off, and a lot of her attempts to get in the box were deflected, and Adi was a huge part of that. And when Adi exited the game, then the United States kind of got rolling even more than they had been. So she was crucial to what Canada was doing defensively. And you'll see her come up for scoring chances as well. Haddock, McMahon added some energy for Puerto Rico off the bench against Mexico. Looked a lot better, Puerto Rico did in the second half versus the first. A little bit different for Canada. I mean, really the final score, 3-0, like I said, could have been more against the United States because they possessed 80% of the game. Up that left flank, trying to get position, Krakauer. Head-to-head with Archibald, who sails it out. Anderson tosses it in, McMahon, back to Anderson. Goes to work, tries a cross, and we got a corner here, the first one that we'll see for Puerto Rico. McMahon will take this. Quiones stepping in, Anderson, Nieves Melchor, and you see on that back post, being tightly watched, Indigo Sims. Push in the air. Krakauer. Naya Rose can't control. Here's Sims for Puerto Rico. Quickly moving, Nieves Melchor in that corner, racing with Logan. Nieves Melchor had a goal to get to the semifinals in the quarterfinal match for Puerto Rico, 2-0 against El Salvador. She was the first to score, and then Sims followed her. And what was a bit of an upset because El Salvador was a 1 seed, won their group. And so it felt like on paper that was going to be a victory for El Salvador. And Puerto Rico just looked really steady in that game, and El Salvador didn't have an answer. And again, it was a part of 3 clean sheets in a row for Puerto Rico. Allen bounces around. Nieves Melchor squares. Swerving through his Monk. Tries the cross intended for Watson. Poked out. Sims and Watson just barreling through his Sims. Leaves it behind Krakauer, skating up that flank. And that nice little touch will end in a throw-in here for Puerto Rico. Again, Adi. Like I said, she's just really tough to get past. Super technically sound and pretty aggressive back there. Reads passes well, so a lot of interceptions, and like I said, a lot of block shots. For Canada's defense in general, you know, I mentioned Marcassini and Adi, and obviously their keeper, Lallier. They were putting their bodies on the line against the United States. I mean, the U.S. had 30-plus shots in the game, 14 on target, so there was just a lot going on. And of course, that doesn't even count for all the deflections that didn't even really get in the 18. Sims playing with it, tries to center, ricochets off. Krakauer sends it wide, nobody home. Adi tracking it down, but it's a throw-in. You know, this is a 7th match for both of these countries in a matter of weeks, so there's a lot of soccer being played right now, and it has to be exhausting while exciting, and so just credit to these players. Doesn't seem to affect them too much. Might later, but you know, the energy's here, and obviously it helps when this is a really meaningful game to just keep on playing this year. World Cup is in India in 2022, and there's already some teams that have punched their ticket around the world. New Zealand will be there, Chile, Colombia. Of course, India will be there. Some had to play in tournaments, and others were nominated just because of the pandemic, and so some tournaments did not go on. But it's really awesome that this Concacaf Women's Championship happened at the U17 level, and we're getting 7 potential matches for the best teams, which is more than usual. Prior to this year, it had been 5. So we're really figuring out who are the best teams. Breaking some ankles there for Watson. Earns a corner for Canada, the first one. Just sent Castillo tumbling. Canada gets their first corner today. They did not get a corner against the United States. 16-0, that was the difference in corner attempts in that U.S. game. So I'm sure they're happy to set up a set piece from the far side, see if they can get a good look here. Watson off her left foot towards the back post, headed down. Anderson with a save. That was Adi, who got a wonderful shot off. An even better save from Anderson. Honestly, perfect ball. Adi timed that well. Maybe it needed a little bit more air, but credit to Anderson for her quick feet. She got there just in time, and that header had some juice to it too. That was not softly hit. Let's see this again. Sneaks in there. Yeah, Anderson right in the perfect spot. She just tracks it so well. Like I said, Ariana Anderson has been really crucial. Of course, she's been the starting keeper, but you know, there's been some games like the United States game when they lost 13-0, or even the Mexico game where you could see a keeper really getting down or just not playing their best the next match. It's never been the case for Anderson. She's always, like I said, a really steady force. Cross from Adi, rejected. Nieves Melchor tries to slip through. Logan takes it away for Canada. Trips a little, centers, got some space. Krakauer on her back, right into Quiones. Fully swiped. Andrea Haddock with the takeaway, but denied by Watson. Hernandez-Gray comes up to get in on the action. Now she's got control up that left wing. Castillo falls. There's some room up top here. Monk. She falls as well. Keep on going. Quiones. Anderson. Intended for Nieves Melchor, bounces around back with Canada, and they'll send it back to Lallier, I think, to just settle. There's been a lot of tripping and falling recently. And it's not a rainy day. In fact, of all the matches that I've done in this tournament, it's the one with the least chance of rain, which sometimes might mean we might get a random bout of rain. A warning here. We're going to see Monk just getting a little talking to from Garcia. There's Humphreys for Canada. Logan, Krakauer on her heel. A little physical play in the circle. Sims surveys, punches it forward. Nice takeaway from the back. Again, Marcassini, who we just saw get that swipe. That's the captain for Canada. Not a lot gets by her. Prior to that United States game, Canada had only allowed 2 goals per tournament, or in the entire tournament, and of course 3 goals against the United States. We do have an injury. Castillo in a little bit of pain here for Puerto Rico. Remember, she's been the one defending on the left side that's having some issues staying on her feet, and there I think she might have got clipped at the end by a cleat. And even though it's not as humid, it's still extremely hot in the Dominican Republic. So we will have cooling breaks in both the first and second half here in this mid-afternoon game. Hernandez-Gray last to touch. Puerto Rico ball. Gotta be careful with that. If you don't immediately leave it for the opponent, sometimes that can be a card. Bouncer to Hancock. Haddock, excuse me. Nieves Melchor. Marcassini. Scoreless through 15 here in Santo Domingo. So far, it seems a lot more evenly matched than the 2 games in the semifinals that both of these nations played. Monk. Intended for Adi. Sims might have got that instead of a whiff, so it is Canada's ball. Adi trying to penetrate the 18. Logan gets cut off by Garcia, the referee. Here comes Watson. blocked away on a shot, and a whistle going the other way. There's a dangerous one there as Maya Burt for Puerto Rico, the captain, lays her body on the line with that stone wall. We'll see it again. Basically lunging forward on that one. Oh, we're seeing some great defensive plays on both sides, and of course Canada's had the best look off a corner, a header from Adi, and just a rejection from Anderson back in net. Player down for Puerto Rico, and as it bounces out, we'll stop play. That's Haddock. Let's see. Yeah, her leg just got taken out by Rose. Maybe should have been a foul.
Ari.
12 of these Puerto Rican players, by the way, actually live in the United States. So when they did get to play the United States, there was a lot of connections there. Snaking through, mock to Watson, onsides, burnt again with her body. Here's Adi though. Hernandez Gray. Nieves Melchor comes back, plays some D. Boxing out. Space here. A little crowded on this right flank. Up the channel. And it's going to stay with Puerto Rico. Off of Adi. Nieves Melchor doesn't have many options coming to help her out. Not quite a corner, but near that corner, a throw-in. Castillo will take it. Burnt, back with it, unsuccessful clearance. Again, we're in the first half of the Concacaf U-17 Women's Championship. This is the third place match, so the winner moves on to the World Cup in India later this year. Krakauer plays it high. Nieves Melchor sprints forward. 3 defenders back for Canada. And Marcassini back to Lallier, who's just having at least some time to breathe in this one versus the last time around. And it appears there's a player down in Nieves Melchor for Puerto Rico. Slow to get up, and so the whistle blows. Let's see. Yeah, 50-50, but stumbles a little. Anderson comes off her goal line. Then has that one massive save. Sims moving up the right. Unsuccessful cross attempt. Haddock keeps it in. Monk with the takeaway. Marcassini resets. comes Canada. Monk again. Krakauer. That's a trip. And a free kick here from a decent spot. They'll just opt to go fast across in the 6. Burns the last to touch. Use a corner for Canada. It's only been one shot. Canada has it with that save. Other than that, that's the only shots period we've seen for either team. See if Canada can get a good look again. Watson, you see just the crowded space in the 18. Trying to lose their mark. Floating through the air, Anderson with the Holland. Castillo launches it forward. Sims does the same with her head. Back to Castillo. A late call, but a call nonetheless on a side kick from Rose. She's done that a couple times to Castillo. Let's watch this. I guess it was just the aftermath. Puerto Rico still without a shot. We'll see if they can get one off here. Intended for Nieves Melchor. Read well by Canada. See that swarm of red jerseys surrounding. Misplayed though. Puerto Rico has another shot. Krakauer. Nice touch. Nieves Melchor can't get there in time. Marcassini takes it for Canada. Adi. Krakauer again. Swerving around. Squares. Moves to the right. Makes another nifty move off her left foot. Here's a service in. Bounces over the head of McMahon. Archibald gets it way out of trouble. High service, Watson, Sims, watch it drop, and Sims is the one to head it out. Keeps it almost in. Watson muscles through, Hernandez Gray off the end line. "25 minutes in, not a ton of offensive opportunities, although each team has been in the box. It hasn't been completely played in the midfield. But just an opportunity to take a shot hasn't really been there. It's not like when, you know, the United States in particular was able to complete a bunch of passes in the box. It hasn't looked like that at all. Everything's been disrupted. Credit to both defenses. And this might be just two teams settling into each other, trying to figure out where the seams are defensively. And maybe after this cooling break that we have right now, we'll see teams talk it over, kind of reset and try to figure out what are the best ways to combat what they're trying to do. and there's a cooling break pretty much about the halfway point between each half, which is absolutely necessary with this heat, the start of summer.
Ready?
Again, just one shot. It's Canada that has it. Canada does have the advantage in corner kicks 2-1 as well. But all in all, it just there hasn't been a sequence for either team where it's been a 5-minute stretch or something where there's been a lot of time spent in their attacking third. It's just been kind of ping-ponging around and no one's completely settled into this game. I'm sure that will change over the course of the match. All right, so back from the cooling break, Indigo Sims. Concacaf U17 Women's Championships in the Dominican Republic. It's a third-place match. I said this in the last broadcast that we did, but you know, the 4 teams in the semifinal pretty close to mirror what's going on at the senior level. Mexico, Canada, United States are all going to be part of the 8 teams that will play in July for the Concacaf women's title at the senior level. But Puerto Rico, a bit of a surprise to make the semifinals at this level, and you know, hopefully that means bright things for the future on their senior team side. Anderson, left side. Hasn't been used too much by Puerto Rico. Bumps it forward. Marcassini right there. Yavis Melchor with a bit of a press. Castillo joins her. Krakauer picks up steam, gets tripped by Logan, but they'll keep on going. You can hear some of the fans for Puerto Rico say that's a foul. Hernandez Gray. Out wide. Watson now on that side with her left foot inside of Rose. Bounced off her. Almost made a nifty move, but does get a corner. So this is now corner number 3 for Canada. And again, the best look has come off a set piece of this nature for the Canadian national team. So we'll see if that continues. What they have been doing is just basically creating a circle up at the very point of the box. They just sent a player to mid-post. It looks like that's Monk. In the air, charging forward, punched out by Anderson. Castillo looks around, bounces off of Allen for Canada. Back in the attacking third. Burt turns towards net and realizes that's dangerous. So it's all the way up towards the stands and a corner again for Canada. And this could be that sequence that I'm talking about, just keeping it in the attacking third. Putting pressure on the keeper, moving Anderson off her goal line, getting that defense shifting a little bit. And it has to stretch, you know, I think it's going to have to stretch pretty long because these defenses are very solid on both sides. Watson. You see Rose in the center, mid-post. Allen way off, chopping that one forward. Logan. Nieves Melchor. McMahon makes a move, accelerates, no call. Hernandez Gray takes off, Logan behind, Krakauer almost commits a foul there. Adi, build up, deflected, Sims somehow got there just in time. Another corner for Canada. This has been a good stretch for the Canadian team. Let's take a look at this. Logan, McMahon, yeah, didn't seem like too much of a foul. Again, Garcia, the referee. Garcia comes up to just warn everyone to stop pushing each other here. Again, this is a high-intensity game playing for a berth in the World Cup in India. Off Watson's left foot. Anderson headed it down. Marcassini with a shot. Denied by Anderson. That was a great look again for Canada, and they're putting more and more pressure. Feels like something's got to give if they keep this up. Great move to cut it back towards her left foot. Tough angle. And Anderson was right there, had to just kind of shuffle in that direction and got there in time. Watson will do it again. Here's another corner for Canada. Third in the last couple of minutes. Adi was charging in, but Anderson, good vision, pulls it out, trying to get something built up here. Krakauer can't get it past that defense. Mahone helps her out. Back to Krakauer. Nieves Melchor streaking up the center. Pass intended for her, read well. Allen is on Sims's back. And I liked that thought in the transition for Canada, or excuse me, for Puerto Rico there, but I think it might need to be a hair quicker. Canadian defense is just too smart. Rarely catch them off guard, so if you have a slight sliver of a chance, kind of got to take advantage. Sims. Nieves Melchor. Castillo jolts forward, plays through some contact. Haddock. Cross to Anderson. Tackled out by Watson. Gionis stifled. Monk. Nieves Melchor comes up for a challenge. Bounce around Marcassini on the left wing here with Adi. Nieves Melchor is down again. And Garcia is going to blow the whistle to check on her. She was a little bit slow to get up earlier, and I didn't quite see what happened there. But now she's holding her right leg. Yeah, could be, I mean, it's definitely that leg, off that leg-to-leg contact there. She tried to, start walking on it and realized she was in some pain. Nieves Melchor, again, was the hero in that upset against El Salvador to get to the semifinals, and losing her would be really tough for Puerto Rico in terms of who's going to play up top in sort of the box that they play. I think we're going to see quite a bit of stoppage time in this first half. A couple of injuries. Of course, we had the cooling break as well. And Nieves Melchor is up and walking off the pitch. We'll see if she can come back in or if she has to be replaced for Puerto Rico. Getting helped off from the training staff. Doesn't look promising with that limp. Krakauer being told to back up a little bit. Monk will take this at the midfield line. Shots are now 2-0 in favor of Canada, so nothing too. This hasn't been an offensive explosion so far, but the corner kicks are 6-1 in Canada's favor. Scoreless still, heading towards the end of this first half. Adi to Allen, back to Adi. Logan racing in, read well by Haddock. She's got some space. Krakauer can't control. Marcassini. Archibald gave it all she got. It's back with Puerto Rico. Looks like you can see Nieves Melchor coming back in for Puerto Rico. That's good to see and important to what they're trying to do offensively. Anderson looking for some help. Seen Puerto Rico just sort of cool off a little bit. They never were, like I said, dominating this match, but definitely look a little exhausted here. And now would be the time to strike if you're Canada. Open seam, gets past Rose. Should stay with Canada. Archibald. Krakauer trying to force it out. Another reset for Canada. Again, possession time, I think, in the last 15 minutes has really gone up for Canada. Hernandez-Gray leaves it wide for Allen, a little bit behind. Allen tries to make a move, gets past Sims. Into Hernandez-Gray. Again, Canada will keep it. Allen. Marcassini. Handball. I believe that went into Rose's palm. Sliced up, Nieves Melchor crashing in. You saw Lallier coming up just in case. Nieves Melchor. Puerto Rico could be turning the tides here a little. Krakauer with some green. Again, Canada's very good at just not letting you penetrate that 18 whatsoever. Touches in the box are extremely limited when you play Canada. Nia Rose. Searching for a mistake. Archibald. That's a mistake there from Logan. Keonis. Burnt. Sims. Monk for Canada in the circle for Watson. Centers it, takes a shot. Watson off the post from distance. Logan. Back to Watson. Keonis gets in front of that, and Watson commits a foul. Boy, that sort of caught everyone off guard, but Watson just let it rip, hoping for a rebound. I mean, hoping for a score. Wow, it looks like Anderson actually got in front of that. Anderson might have got that with her fingertips. It did go off the post, but I think she might have deflected that with her fingertips. Anyway, that's a third shot for Canada, and it's definitely on target. It's not exactly a score. Would have been a fantastic one. Logan accelerating here with Monk. Back to Watson on that right wing. We're gonna be Anderson who commits a foul. Oh no, they won't call it. Just got all ball. Thought I heard a whistle there for a second. That one's a foul. Nieves Melchor, hip check, body check, all of the above there. So Canada will get it. We'll see. Yeah, lowered her shoulder first and foremost. Monk on the free kick. Right to net. Just a drive to Anderson. Clearly there's some strength on the Canadian side. We just saw Watson from distance, and Monk was way out there to take that. Watson. Rose shifts through the defense. Cross in front, and Allen falls into the net, but no shot there for Canada. Castillo put her body in front of that one. Let's see this again. This is a great cross from Rose. And basically, Castillo just boxed Allen out in order to get the edge. But I still think she could have got a foot on it, a hair off. Sims will throw it in for Puerto Rico. Just kind of surviving here late in this first half. 2 minutes of stoppage time, that's it. And again, this is extra important for both sides, that you don't give up a goal here. It can really suck the life out of a team. A late first half stoppage time, you know, you just kind of take your mind out of it, looking ahead, and all of a sudden you're down 1-0 versus knotted up at nothing. Rose commits a foul. Archibald here for Canada. One final push maybe ahead of stoppage time at the end of this half. Logan just playing in the center. Allen with the feed. Adi from that back line. And that's a whistle here in the first half. So we've played 45 minutes in stoppage time, and we don't have a score between Puerto Rico and Canada here in the third place match in the Concacaf U17 Women's Championship. Concacaf Women's Under-17 Championship. It's a third place match between Puerto Rico and Canada. Here are the highlights from this first half Early corner for Watson. Adi with the back post header, and it's denied. Denied by Anderson in net. Ariana Anderson won't be her last save of this first half. You see that. That came off pretty hot from the head of Adi there. And there's another corner. Lots of corners in this one for Canada, and that one tracked well. And Anderson again makes the grab. Here comes Marcassini. Lets it rip. Anderson punches it over the crossbar. Marcassini with a nifty move off her left foot. Didn't have that much space, was still able to get a shot off. And then here comes Canada again. Watson from distance off the post there. That was just as close as any other shot. My goodness. Lots of pressure for Anderson in different spurts in this game, as you see again Watson with that deep shot. And here's another one. Monk off a set piece just goes for it. She's so far out. And Anderson was able to get there pretty easily. Final look here for Canada. So close. Rose with a fantastic cross. Allen was the intended target, and I think that's great defense by Castillo. Just bumps her out of position. And ultimately, we are scoreless between Canada and Puerto Rico at halftime. Here are the stats so far in this match. It's been, Canada's definitely had a better game so far. You see the shots 4-0, shots on target are 3, and no shots for Puerto Rico. That obviously has to change. But Puerto Rico's right there with it, and we could see the momentum shift completely at halftime. We'll see what happens. Again, third place match for the Concacaf U17 Women's Championship, tied at 0-0 at halftime.
I went from maybe I can to I know I will. From isn't she cute to fight. Coaches who seem stuck on we can now say we did. From women's football to every 90 minutes, I'm reminded we belong.
You're going to come in first.
Welcome back for the second half Concacaf U17 Women's Championship. As predicted, Malouf's coming in. We'll see how we're coming in as well for Canada. It's scoreless right now. We saw Canada get a lot of chances. Puerto Rico got no shots off, and yet Puerto Rico's still in it. So we'll see what happens here in the second half. Somebody has to win because this decides who gets third place, gets the bronze, and also who gets to go to the World Cup later this year in India. So again, a lot on the line. Puerto Rico in blue, Canada in red if you're just tuning in. And again, Malouf and Hauer are the two subs for Canada. Did not see any subs for Puerto Rico, but we'll keep you updated when those come through. Anderson had a fantastic game back in net for Puerto Rico. I mean, she stopped a bunch of shots, a couple of shots from deep. She read well and just didn't take her off her goal line at all. Unbothered so far, but Puerto Rico has to help her out and just get something going offensively. Besides shots, the big number at halftime was 6-1 in favor of Canada in terms of corner kicks. So only one corner kick very early in the game for Puerto Rico, and Canada had a stretch where they got a couple in a row, and that led to some near misses. But again, we're scoreless. Canada has brought in some heavy hitters with Malouf, 10 goals so far in the Concacaf U17 Championship. Just 6 matches to get that mark. And a foul is called. Goes against Adi. Sims will throw it in. There's Malouf. Definitely being challenged for that golden boot though in this championship, because Tatiana Flores from Mexico could get there, Villarreal as well for the United States. It depends on, you know, how these matches go, or how the one match goes, the final later tonight. Attic at her feet, Castillo cut off by Adi. Adi trying to get something going. Malouf in the circle. Pokes it forward to Watson. Anderson's there in time. Pops up in the air, still bouncing around. Controlled by Puerto Rico. Logan tripping up there, trying to get it back. Krakauer splits the D. Foul. Puerto Rican fans have been pretty vocal in this one. Definitely don't enjoy that call. Or that foul, I should say. They like the call because it went their way, but don't like the foul. Archibald with a very clear trip. Also sort of used her arms to rip Krakauer down. You can hear Humphreys directing traffic right now for Canada. Definitely telling Nia Rose how to defend out there. Soaring through, still high. Here's a shot, slow roller off the foot of Haddock, but it's something for Puerto Rico. But again, I mean, momentum going towards the ground, don't have your full weight over the shot, and not in the box. If you're Canada, you'll live with a look like that. I think the best chance for Puerto Rico, just seeing how stifling this Canadian defense has been, is going to be earning a corner or getting some sort of free kick. Logan. Marcassini, Nieves Melchor, boxing her out. Sims. Backline for Canada. Mong, Archibald. Here's Adi. Up the middle, moves left. Allen, nutmeg. Not enough numbers there for Canada.
Top of the box. Calma, calma.
Marcassini. Okeke. That pair has been pretty fantastic for Canada. Here's Adi. Cross. Slips by Anderson. Watson with her left foot. And it's off target. Didn't even get on frame, but Canada has another chance. Watson still has it. Look at all those moves. Logan whiffed by Hauer, and then she scores. Anna Hauer looked like she was going to miss that. Somehow finishes. She just subbed in too. Definitely makes her coach Humphreys look smart with that change. See this, starts with Logan here. That touch was a little high, so she dumps it behind, and then just sort of accidentally gets stuffed with the ball. Yeah, just trying to follow through, not clean, and so she makes it work regardless. Doesn't look good, doesn't look promising. Anderson, though, had committed to diving, obviously, and so actually because of that, it served as a bit of a fake out. It was not purposeful in its fake out, but it works, and Hauer scores, and Canada's up, and that's what matters. 1-0, the Canadian lead. It did feel like that was coming, just based on that first half and possession time being in favor of Canada and all the corners and looks that they'd had. It hasn't been a lopsided game by any means, but the shift has been a little bit more with Canada. Allen. All the way back to Lallier, who again has not seen a shot yet. Marcassini, all that green. Flare, left. Service, Anderson boots it out. Krakauer does the same, moving forward. Okeke racing back. And Puerto Rico's laying off. You're not seeing a high press. Now we kind of are, but Nieves Melchor was doing it a little bit more in the first half. Again, she did exit with an injury, came back, and I don't know if Puerto Rico's just becoming a little more defensive-minded, if there's some fatigue. Allen goes for it, scores! Amanda Allen! It's 2-0. Back-to-back Canadian goals. Hugs from her teammates. Look at this. I mean, she wasn't guarded, so she just goes for it. I mean, that had some curl to it at the end. A rocket hits the side netting on the back post there for Allen. That's a beauty of a shot. Honestly, seemed like it was going wide, but no, picture perfect for Amanda Allen. Things are starting to spiral for Puerto Rico in the second half.
Step on Rosa right away. Go on, Rosa. Go on, Rosa.
Watson, Krakauer. Watson commits the foul. So again, I think the training staff's going to come out. Howard scored in the 51st minute, and then right after, Allen makes it 2-0. So patience, patience, patience. For Canada, they finally execute here and just get the ball rolling completely. See Luzio come in for Puerto Rico. Valeria Luzio enters, and that will take Castillo out. This is going to be a free kick for Puerto Rico and Krakauer.
Anna, get ready to just be ready for that central shot. There it is.
Lofted towards net. Lallier has to punch it over the crossbar. That had potential to just be a wonky goal. Corner. Headed up over the crossbar. Burt charging forward. Entangled with Logan. Decent look for Puerto Rico. Archibald. Watson. Trying to take two defenders on. Archibald. Rejected on the cross. Anderson unable to avoid a corner. Watson again on this corner. She's been taking them all game. Malouf is right in front of Anderson. That's important to watch. Foul called against Malouf. And that was through the air. We will have a sub for Canada. Perrault, who is certainly a threat scoring-wise, will come in for Allen, Amanda Allen, who just scored in the 53rd minute. The second goal for Canada. There's that Howard goal. As again, Allen exits. Perrault comes in. I'm sure Allen's got to be feeling really good. An insurance goal for Canada. Here's a chance. Service, Malouf. So close. You can see the electricity that Perrault offers when she enters the game. Her goal was crucial in the quarterfinals for Canada. Got past Costa Rica 3-0, but it took a little while, and once Perrault scored, it was smooth sailing. Watson, too far ahead.
Too far.
Not able to clear that. Anderson to Burnt, intended for Sims. And again, Puerto Rico got an early corner here in the second half, and then it's kind of just been quiet since on the Puerto Rican side. And once Canada scored, you could just see the disappointment in the Puerto Rican faces, and then getting that second one 2 minutes later did not help. Adi. Perrault denied by Anderson. Still in the 18. Burnt. Keke takes it herself. Perrault. Archibald keeps it in. Shifting right up that right wing, looking for the angle. She's out. There's Allen, again with that crucial goal for Canada. The second one, and I mean, this game could play out that it's just 2 great minutes for Canada to get them to the World Cup. Watson. Archibald.
Careful, be careful.
Perrault. Left for Malouf. Malouf takes off in the 18. Rosa Malouf with a chance in the 6. And a tackle put on by Burnt. A corner here for Canada. Good job by Burnt, because Malouf certainly can finish. We've seen that all tournament long. Watson has to run out and get a soccer ball. Watson low, but another one coming. Yavis Melchor hit that off her foot, where Watson keeps having to run around and get these soccer balls. They will have her come in the 18, and Monk's going to take it this time around. We should be approaching that cooling break as well that both teams will get here in the second half. Low again. Watson. Not the one to touch. It's McMahon going the other way for Puerto Rico. Marcassini right on her heel. Nearly gets a turnover.
Rosa! Keep going!
We'll have a sub come in for Puerto Rico. Aaliyah Rivera will come in. It looks like she's going to take out Sims. So Indigo Sims exit her time in the Concacaf Women's Under-17 Championship is done. Her team down 2-0. See if they can launch an epic comeback or not. Maloof. Look at all those blue jerseys around her, and she still keeps it. Power as the game winner at the moment of Keke. Slides through, still keeps it with Canada. Rivera, fresh legs, beats everyone to it. Swarm, Monk. Push it out, and they're gonna say that Rivera fouled her. Let's see. Rivera. Oh. It seemed like she might have fell down on her own. Maloof is down right now for Canada. Training staff will come out to check on her. Both sides will get a cooling break. And some snacks as well, I think. That's why I saw Canada just eating those. It's not a protein bar, like the Goop. Need it. It's been a long stretch for these players. I mean, playing this much soccer is not easy. And this is the end of the road for now. We'll get some time to rest. And then, of course, for one of these teams, they'll head to India later this year. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, Goo, I think that's what it's called. I think Goop is a brand by Gwyneth Paltrow, but I was close. Maloof is off.
Come on.
We'll see if Canada puts her back in, just keeps her out of the game for good, although it does seem like she's primed to re-enter. First she'll get some water. Marcus Cini. Wide pass, here's a chance. Adi takes a shot off the cross. Perot just misses. Just some second half stats. Shots are 7-2 now, still in favor of Canada. Corner kicks up 9-2 for Canada. And that's just reflective, I think, of how much time that Canada spent in their attacking third versus how much time Puerto Rico has spent in its attacking third. Archibald playing some keep away, player down for Puerto Rico. Anderson collides with Malouf. Eva Anderson's able to save that. That could have been goal number 3, but no one was there to knock it home. That's Krakauer down for Puerto Rico. Training staff immediately out, holding her leg. Does seem like Krakauer's in quite a bit of pain, so they will take her off on this stretcher so she doesn't have to walk off by herself. But that's a really tough way to end her time in the Dominican Republic, and hopefully she'll be all right. But see Nieves Melchor checking in on Krakauer. And it's 2-0. Canada leads because of 2 goals, one from Hauer in the 51st minute, and then Allen with a second one in the 53rd. Different kinds of goals. Hauer's was just chaos, basically in the 6, and Allen, I believe she was outside the 18, if not a hair in. Launched a shot from the left wing and hit it. Krakauer is being carried off. Just hate to see someone's time in a tournament like this end that way. Puerto Rico will have to make a sub.
Ready? Right now, please shield right now. Vamos ya.
Marcus Cini. Boots it forward. Hauer. Rivera picking up steam. Maloof gets it back. Here comes Canada in the 18. Perot blocked. Player down for Puerto Rico. And we'll have that cooling break as they check up on this injured player. We've seen a lot of injuries here in the second half. And that looks like it's Andrea Haddock. Let's see. Yeah, just the awkwardness of kind of that lunge, and they'll have to get a separate stretcher and take Haddock off. Both teams talking things over for Puerto Rico. It's gonna have to be everyone forward sooner rather than later. I don't know exactly when that will happen, but they're gonna have to think about taking some risks here in order to try to get on the board. All right, Haddock at least is able to walk off on her own power.
Are you okay, Andrea?
And she nods and says she's okay when Castro asks, so that's positive. But we will see subs too for Puerto Rico. They'll put in Jazeera Gonzalez to take out Krakauer. And then we'll see Felicia Roy check in. Janet Okeke comes out.
Pero ella no puede entrar porque es la que acaba de salir.
It looks like Haddock is waiting to be able to come right back in.
Regresa con el número 13, Jazeera González, sale con el número 16, Alison McComer, minuto 75.
So about 15 minutes left. We've got stoppage time as well. I think there will be quite a bit here in the second half. Watson in the box, wants a foul, doesn't get it. Three defenders all over Nieves Melchor for Canada. Rivera pushes through. She's got options. Here's a chance for Puerto Rico. Luzio, who just checked in, denied by Archibald there. Clean tackle. Maloof. Perot takes off. Right flank to Maloof. Falls down in the 18. Might have got a little bit of a bump from Colin Gonzalez for Puerto Rico. Maloof, though, is the one person in transition that you can't really have get lost, and you can see that since she's entered, the transition game has opened up for Canada. It was a bit more of a methodical approach in the first half, and now things are much more open. Up the flanks, going in the center, back out wide, you know, that sort of movement is there, especially those crosses to Maloof when she gets inside the 18. that, again, is two things. One, Malouf being in and Perot as well. And then also, I think there's some fatigue on Puerto Rico's side. Adi, wide channel, corner.
¡Vamos arriba! Llega, vale, llega, vale. Vale. Ya sí, front. Ya sí.
Soaring through Anderson, that's a handball. Hit Watson. In Concacaf U17 Women's Championship. This is the third place match. Puerto Rico, Canada. Lallier comes out and beats out McMahon. A chance to go to the World Cup in India later this year. That's what this game is being played for. Of course, a bronze medal as well. Mexico and the United States will play later tonight to decide who wins. Gets to hoist that CONCACAF trophy. Of course, gets gold medals as well. Malouf barrels through, shoots, and Anderson stops her. Got some help there from Haddock. Definitely been some of these forwards using their strength here in the 18 as Malouf nearly gets there, blazing through that D. Here's that corner. Hauer, Watson watching it drift out of the 18. Hauer again. Roy, McMahon has it for Puerto Rico. Stay on their feet. Back to Archibald. Logan keeps on trekking. Archibald. Perot. Beats one defender. Malouf cut off by Burt. Rivera. Pass to nobody there. You can hear Puerto Rico, especially the bench, telling the players in the game to pick it up a little bit. Desperation time a little bit here for Puerto Rico, down 2-0. And you can just feel that Canada has the advantage. But a mistake like that, McMahon in the 18 takes a shot, denied by Lallier. And a corner coming for Puerto Rico. All right, that's a good look. I was gonna say, you can see that Canada, training-wise, just looks a little bit more, or a little bit less fatigued, I'll say. But there, a little spurt of excellence as Lallier's telling Malouf where to go, and it appears there's a Puerto Rican player down. Garcia's checking in on her. And that, I think, is Haddock again. So they're going to have the stretcher come out for her because it appears she cannot keep playing. She's been on the defensive end in some chippy moments too. So they're getting set up for this corner. I'm waiting to see if Haddock's going to be taken off.
I'm just saying the US
All right, so Haddock will walk off herself. Humphreys telling Rosa Malouf she needs her now. Looking for a player to mark. She's got Anderson. McMahon. Put up a shot and it just goes wide. Burt got a great header there. Close call. Obviously would have made this a one-score game. Very different story. Ooh. Close, close, close. Power. Adi. Up the middle, Howard, Roy deciding who will take it. Now Archibald, right wing, picks up speed, trying to beat Luzio. Cross, Perot, Malouf scores! 11 goals for Rosa Malouf in the Concacaf Championship. And she's got another one here in the third place match. Incredible stuff. That's a great, first of all right, let's look. This starts with Archibald. Perot, I don't know if she meant to do this. Yeah, I think she did. Instead of taking a shot herself at a bit of a tougher angle with the defender and Burnt right there, she just lightly sends it to Malouf, and Malouf tallies. Again, 11 goals now. She's been incredible, and that's a great way to cap off her time in this CONCACAF Championship. Bordelot will come in for Watson for Canada. He's getting some final subs, and that will definitely be the nail in the coffin here for Canada, up 3-0. On Puerto Rico.
Hey, Canada, come on, play. Play.
Careful.
Yavis Melchor came out. No, she didn't. She's right there. I think she was thinking that she was going to. Keeps going. Perot. Floating to Malouf. Or an Anderson. Foul against Malouf. All right, so poor Anderson has to keep pushing this back. Now she'll go. Ariana Anderson's gonna come up because they're sending everyone forward here for Puerto Rico. One final push.
How many times we play?
Keep going, Jay, keep going.
Flick to Perot, keeps it onside. She comes, right wing. Or it had it collide. Perot comes up. Unsuccessful clearance. Monk, Howard.
Drop in, Rosa. Jamie, go. Jamie.
Roy. Maloof. He's taking it all the way, searching for that brace. Here's a corner for Canada. That will dwindle some clock. Monk, Adi in the corner playing some keep away. Eventually punched out. Not a corner, just a throw in the corner.
Be careful. Keep it here.
Yep. Hey, quickly, let's go!
Again, we're approaching the end of regulation. I do believe we're going to get a decent amount of stoppage time. There's been a lot of injuries here in the second half. Davis Melchor trying to take it up. Earns a corner for Puerto Rico. One final stand for the Canadian defense. And that's the game. 3-0 the final score. Canada punches their ticket to the World Cup in India. So much excitement for the Canadian national team. What a run for Puerto Rico. Falls short in this third place match. 3 goals for Canada in the second half. That's the difference. And the celebration will continue. We'll have interviews for both sides as the Canadian national players celebrate their mothers. And then we will have highlights from this one, final stats, and wrap it up from the Dominican Republic.
top 10 for Puerto Rico, Maya. Maya, today everybody was able to witness two teams that gave 110% on the field. How do you feel about making it to the top 4 and representing Puerto Rico?
I'm very proud of us. I think we worked really hard, especially coming off of 2 losses in the beginning and being able to come back from that. And I just am very proud of us. And we fought to the end. Unfortunately, it's not what we wanted, but we did work hard. So,
what would you say is the greatest lesson you have learned throughout this entire experience?
I think just not giving up, because we did start off with very hard teams, and it was hard to come back from that. But we still made it this far, and I mean, it's not where we wanted, but we still didn't give up until the end.
Thank you so much, Maya. Congratulations, Claire. Claire Logan, defense for Canada. Claire, your team has just secured their ticket to represent Canada in the 2022 U17 Women's World Cup in India. How are you feeling?
I think all of us are just completely overjoyed. We worked so hard to get here. We put so many hours in on the field and off the field together as a group, and we're just so happy to be able to secure that spot in the World Cup.
The World Cup is scheduled to be in October. How does your team plan to continue its preparations for the World Cup?
We're just going to keep working in our regular environments day in, day out, getting prepared for this amazing opportunity. I think we're going to be getting together as a group several times before the World Cup as well. So just continuing to put in the work day in, day out, working on our behaviors and continuing those bonds on and off the field. And yeah, we're just super, super excited to be able to get there.
Thank you so much, Claire. Congratulations.
Canada moves on to the World Cup in India. Let's see how this one went down against Puerto Rico. Initially, Canada with some great looks. Here's probably the best one in the first half. Watson off a corner. Adi charging in. Ariana Anderson with a very, very big denial there in net for Puerto Rico. Going the opposite side, Anderson leaping through the air to get another stop for Puerto Rico. Read that extremely well. And Canada just won't stop. Marcassini. I forgot about this one. This was a great look too. Going right, moves left, off her left foot. Anderson saves it with her body. Off the post, still in the first half from Renee Watson. Watson was so far out, way outside the 18, and just lets it rip. Just misses, very close. You see, just swerving through for Watson. And despite all these chances, including this one, Monk just off a free kick. Or excuse me, this is Marcassini off a free kick. Just takes it herself and doesn't make Anderson move too much off her goal line. But another great opportunity here as Rose cuts through, gets across, and just off with Allen. Mistimed a little bit, but despite all those looks for Canada, Puerto Rico survives. It's scoreless at halftime until this moment. We get to the second half. Chaos in the 18. You see Logan, Claire Logan, just heard from her. Crosses, Howard misplays at first, bobbles it a little bit, and then is able to finish on the second chance. And because basically Anderson had committed to diving, of course she had, because she thought this was going to be a shot from Howard, it ends up being a fake. Not, I don't think the intention, but it's a goal regardless. Canada goes up 1-0. Amanda Allen from just outside the 18 launches a deep shot and scores. Amanda Allen, this beauty off her right foot. I don't think anyone was ready for that. Not much you can do if you're Anderson in net. That is a nasty shot, and it's 2-0. So Canada is up big. These goals within 2 minutes of each other, by the way. And then here comes finally a look for Puerto Rico that's decent. Krakauer from way out, bounces this one, and it felt like it might just go in at the end. Lallier gets the touch, and here's that final goal. Maloof, who now has 11 goals for Canada, completes her time in the Concacaf Women's Championship with a final score, and that will do it again, 3-0. Canada beats Puerto Rico, the celebration ensues, and on Mother's Day, Canada finds out they're going to the World Cup in October in India at the U17 level. Lots of excitement as this Canadian national team certainly earned their spot with this victory. Puerto Rico, a well-played tournament, just barely don't get to go to the World Cup. Here are the final stats. I mean, Canada, again, definitely played a better game, and you see possession time 61%. Definitely went up here in the second half. Shots 10-4. Canada, again, deserves the victory. They're going to the World Cup later this year. 3-0 the final score. Canada, in the third place match, beats Puerto Rico in the U17 Concacaf Women's Championship. Final coming up later tonight. That's going to be Mexico and the United States, so we'll find out who takes gold in that game. I don't know who's going to win. Neither team has conceded a goal. They've been blowing teams out. We'll see. Have a great night, everyone.